in the famous words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in hopes that we wouldn't say it first, but truth must be told.
And the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Shalom alaikum.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Hey, Rabbi. Hey, shout out my Sabines in London, man. Shout out to brothers in London. Y'all, people was asking, man, they was saying, man, why ain't nobody talking about the alien invasion and this and that? And we did talk about the alien invasion. We talked about the Project Blue Beam, where they was planning to fake the alien invasion. And people was wondering why people talking about this, that, and they ain't talking about the alien invasion. And I'm telling them, man, these must be newcomers, because they should have the whole paradigm down by now. As far as I think, because we went to like other stuff, we hadn't been talking about the extraterrestrial stuff in a while, so people was like, you know. But keep in mind, this planet is being protected. This planet not gonna be invaded to after probably 2043. This planet is under a protected planet treaty under the Four Race Alliance. The four races that protect this planet is mentioned of, for you Bible guys, in Revelations chapter, it'll come to me in a minute, where it talks about the four beasts. And it said one had a face like an ox. That being that had the face like an ox is the being called the Centurions. The Centurions are the record keepers, and they are part of the protected planet treaty. The group of beings who protect this planet from the fifth dimension. And they got high-powered ships that the Reptilians don't want to mess with. These guys. These Centurions that mentioned of in Revelations, and I think in Ezekiel, mentioned them too. And then you said one had a face like a lion. This is the Feline Beings, who have fifth dimensional and sixth dimensional ships. We showed pictures and videos of some of their ships on the Riz Tech movie. These beings ships surpass the little doodle turd ships that the Reptilians, they like to hollow out asteroids and make ships out of these Reptilians. But these guys are way more advanced. These four races that's mentioned of in Revelations. The feline race is more advanced. And keep in mind, cats kill snakes. Cats kill rats and eat them. You got to keep in mind about the food chain that's on the planet. We don't get into the invasion, but we got to build up to it. Keep in mind about the food chain, how if you watch Mother Nature on your planet, you'll see how the Galactic War is playing out right here on your planet. The birds eat snakes. So the birds is against the snakes. The felines are against the snakes. The felines and certain groups of reptilians are connected because there are some benevolent reptilians. And if you go back and get the Black Madonna breastfeeding, and then you go back before that, you'll get Hathor, which is Mother Ninti. If you go back before that, they got other things going all the way back to the reptilian lady breastfeeding, right? Going all the way back. But we don't want to get sidetracked. What we're building up to is that the other race that's mentioned had a face like a bird. And these beings are called the blue avians, right? And you could call them angelical beings for you Bible guys or religious guys. Call them angels, right? Some of them are cherubs, beings, and then you got clashes, throne. It's different. We can get into different categories of what they are. But for the most part, the bird face is the blue aliens, and they got advanced technology. They're the ones who put the spears up to stop these humans that was a part of this dark space program from going outside of this solar system again. So they put those spears up. The reptilians have no technology to deal with these guys, and they part of the protected planet treaty. And then the other beings that they mentioned, they said that they had a face like a man. These people are the Anunnakis, and all those species can be classified as Anunnakis. But the other species is talking about a new Nim, and Enlil Nim, and Inky Nim, the humanoid reptilians, right? The humanoid looking ones. One had a face like a man, right? So like Michael Nim, right? Michael Nim was the man, and you go into Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. Michael and his angels fought against another group of beings who were dragons and their angels, right? So this planet is being protected by those four races. And the devil, who is these reptilians, can't get into Earth because of these beings. It tells you, it breaks it down in subtle ways in Injil and the Revelations, right? And so as long as these beings is protecting that place, and they protect the Crystal City too, which hovers above the North Pole in the fifth dimensional space, right? Protecting the planet, keeping it from exploding. The way Doc put it, the center sun is shooting radiation through the top of that hole, and this Crystal City is like a prison that's breaking down that light and using it as an energy form, because these Anunnakis created ships that power off of solar energy. That's one way they do it. They got magnetic energy in other ways too, but that's one of the main ways is solar energy that they use to power these ships. And so so there ain't gonna be no alien invasion until those beings get taken up out of here. It's a group of beings that got to get picked up. And this is where you get into the pickup of the 144,000. And it's not just 144,000. The 144,000 will be groomed to come back and teach the rest of the people, while Satan will be loose for 1,000 years on probation. And pretty much it's deeper than that too, because it goes into this school that we're in. And then once that school is up, boom, the pickup will happen. And once those children are taken out of here, right? The children of the Anunnakis, because Doc talk about this in the first chapter of the Holy Tablets, right? If you want to read the Holy Tablets, if you're a newcomer, you can read the Holy Tablets in the link in the description for free by Dr. Malachi Z. York, our master teacher, right? Who is being held as a political prisoner right now since 2002. right? Under the COINTELPRO operations, you already know the get down, right? We got the free Malachi Z. York case playlist for people that want to check that out. But like I was saying, certain groups of y'all are from different star systems. And that's what we're going to get into astro projection when we talk about the stars. Because we talk about astro, you mentioned stars, right? And then we talk about stars, you're talking about gases. And then when you talk about gases, you're talking about the non-ether gas, which is what you headed back to, the non-ether gas. And like I say, a lot of y'all are from these different star systems and are here to be picked up. Now, there's different methods of way people say you getting up out of here. Some people say we can't go out through the atmosphere, that we got to go out another way. We got to go out just like everybody else go out as the gas. When you take your last breath, you go, you release the gas. So we're going to get into that too on another tape though, because we're going into the alien invasion. I want to go too far. We'll get into that on the astro projection, the science of astro projection tape. When we talk about that, about the gas getting out of the body, out of body experience, where what happens if you the gas? Why are you still? Because at night, some of y'all go 10, 15 minutes without breathing. At night, you don't even know it. You go long. Some of y'all go a long time, 4 or 5 minutes at night without even breathing when you leave your body. When you astro project, we're gonna get into that on the astro projection. We just put out the dream. Matter of fact, if you're a newcomer, like I said, I got 8 books for the $40 donation to the Cash App or PayPal, right? And one of those books we got is called a Dream Scroll, which that AI just did a analysis on that. It did an analysis on my Dream Scroll book, the tape we just put out, right? Hey, you see my Scarface shirt, nigga. We ain't gonna talk about that. But we some real street niggas though, for real. Hey, but this is what I'm saying. So this planet will not be invaded until after a certain time, to where certain groups of beings are picked up out of here. Once those beings are picked up, then everybody else is fair game for the Dragon Reptilians, who will take over the surface and take their pickings right before the fire is set to reset the planet. And those who are fortunate won't even experience this event if you are one of those beings that's ascending with Earth to the fifth dimensional space. You won't even see this event take place, right? You will just everything will just go as normal. You will just feel everything start to speed up. The days get faster. Everything start to get moved faster. The days will get shorter, really, like what I mean, shorter or faster. And everything can start to speed up in your dimension. To where some of the people you won't even begin to, if they gonna be part of that wave that's gonna experience that tribulation, that 7 years of tribulation, you won't even be able to see them they won't even be in your space no more, because you'll be moving at a higher vibration to where you won't even see them. Like if they're doing negative, if they are part of a negative type of energy, as you go into this fifth dimensional space, some people say, "Oh, we're in the seventh dimension now." Yeah, we're in all dimensions at one time. We can get into that too. But I'm saying, as the planet goes into the fifth dimensional space, and what we mean by that, because I think people getting the wrong, don't got the breakdown of what the dimensions are. And we about to put out a tape about that too, the breakdown of all 9 dimensions. And I broke down all 9 dimensions in a book that I put out called the Ascension Manual. It also breaks down the astral projection too. In the Ascension Manual, you'll get that book too for the $40 donation to the Cash App with all the other 7 books. But the Ascension Manual is one of those books that when we break down the different 9 dimensions, it's only 9 dimensions. There's no 10th dimension. Now, when they say 10 and 11 and all that, they going into what they call an infinity. The 9 is the infinity. 9 to the 9th power times 9. So the 9 is the infinity. So once it goes to 9, it loops back to 1. Then 1, 2, 3, then it goes back to 9. Like like Doc taught us. 9 times 1 is 9. Then 9 times 2 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 2 and 7 is 9. Then you can go all the way up. 9 times 4 is, you can go all the way up. 36 is 9, right? You can go all the way up to 9 times 9 is 81, and that's 9, right? So 9 is the highest number. It's when you get into the 9, eat the gas, and then so 1 and 0 will be a combination number of 1 and 0, because 0 is not counted as a number, but 0 is a number, right? So that would really be 10 numbers, but like I say, 10 is really a combination of 1 and 0 having been come together. And then when you go down to talking computer language, you just get into 1s and 0s. It's only 1s and 0s in computer language, but they're talking in binary code, right, which is dealing in the sequence of 2. Oh yeah, I got part 2s coming, man, because I had to I relocated, so I'm getting set up now, and I'm almost set up to where I can get everything back going. We're about to start back dropping the music and doing all that, so just stay tuned for the other side of the joints, right? We got about 10, 15 of them joints already almost done and ready to go. We just got to get set up and get back in motion. Christmas, resetting everything. It was a long deal. The name of the books are the Ascension Manual, the Galactic Family of Life, the Orion Group Book, the Dream Scroll, right? The Language of the Bird book, the Hustler's Manual, right? And the Book of Extraterrestrials, Volume 1. All these books are thick as hell, like thick. And the Scroll of Eyes book. The Scroll of Eyes break down all the alchemy and stuff like that, right? And we're gonna be doing the AI gonna be doing analogies on this book. Like I said, the last tape we just put out is called The Mystery of the Dream Ram, right? That tape is analogies of my AI of my book, right? That I got called a Dream Scroll. But we're talking about, if you're just not coming in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We're talking about the alien invasion. And like we say, it won't be an alien invasion until this particular thing is happening. This thing's on a bigger scale. That what they telling us, because it's 2 groups of reptilians. It's a good group of reptilians, because they trying to make it like all reptilians are bad. So the bad group of reptilians, they come from a place called the Dragon star system. The good group of reptilians, and it's some that's what they call neutral, and these beings were called a Nomos. They came from Sirius B, right? They were neutral type reptilians, but they were different from reptilians. They more amphibious. They more of water creatures like fish beings. These Nomos, the Dogongs, right? Ties in with the Pope. Why the Christians got a fish on back of their car. All that ties in together, right? With the Piscean age, 2 fish. Jesus took 2 fish, 2 loaves. It goes into all that, right? And then when you, it also goes into because the whole Bible pretty much is astronomy, about the stars, the study of the stars, really, when you start breaking stuff down in it. But people talk about the rapture, the 1,000-year rapture, where people be taken up into these crowds, right? And some people even believe that there's no such thing as outer space, and they right. There's no such thing as outer space, because there's really no such thing as space. Because space is always filled, and that's what the 4th dimension is always about. The 4th dimension is about, because we was gonna get into that. That's what we was getting into, the dimension, right? The first 3 dimensions is height, width, and length. Then the 4th dimension is that which sits in between. When you put all this together, it's the sum of all that, and they call that volume. They call that volume, right? Right, and they call that volume. And once that volume began to take motion, because the whole universe is in motion, right? Motion. This give you what you call energy in motion. So the emotion is the 5th dimension, and they said that's part of the soul. And then once you speed up past that, you go into the 6th dimension, and then you go into light. That's what people go into when you go into getting your light body in the 6th dimension, right? And then in the highest, once you go past a certain speed, which is like 186,272 miles or something per second, you start to travel at a higher vibration, and you start to speed up past light. And then once you get to it's another level of speed. Once you get 9 times the speed of light, boom, you go into a realm called thought. Thought is the 7th dimension. Thought, Tahuti, right? Thought is the 7th dimension. And then once you begin to collectivize the thought, you go into the 8th dimension, which I term the 8th dimension as it's where the different individualities became separated. The gases. It's where the 9 ether gas began to separate, because the 9 ether gas is the 9th dimension. Right, but when that 9 ether gas began to separate it to individual gases, because that 9 ether gas is one gas. But then when those 9 gases began to break into different gases, that created what you call individuality, which each gas has its own vibration or its own mind at this point. And then once those begin to slow down, boom, you go into hydrogen, light, where light is formed, because light is formed in the 7th dimension at a certain amount of terahertz, like at 800 and some terahertz, where you get the ultraviolet, and then as they begin to cool down all the way to red, right, just like the chakra chart. Now this stuff might sound like jibber jabber to the guy that ain't been with us for a while. It's like a lot of stuff we cramming into one spot, but like we were saying, don't be worried. Just pay attention to the government, because they can fake an alien invasion. They got UFOs from Hitler, Project Paperclip. They got advanced holograms. People, I can't stress that hard enough on how advanced their holograms is. The only thing they might be missing is the sound quality of. That's how you're gonna be able to tell the real aliens from the fake ones. This fake hologramic alien is not gonna have any sound. Or these fake whatever they hologram is not gonna have any sound to it. But the ones that the real aliens, they gonna have sound. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they zapping your ass with a plasma gun and you turn into dust. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna definitely make a sound. You might hear ooh or ah or out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Before you turn into a pile of ash. Hey, so we're not worried about them. These fake alien invasion. Like I said, these guys even took DNA off of graves and humans and began making their own clone alien race, like a hybrid alien race, that they was going to use to fake the invasion. Then that costed too much, and they got scared of that project, so they abandoned it. And then they had the holograms. They thought we could use these holograms to make it like aliens popping up on the ground. But keep in mind about that hologram they did with the Tupac. How Tupac was on stage walking around dancing. Now imagine if they could shoot that down from a high projected beam from a drone onto the ground. That's what they got. I'm telling you, man, niggas ain't going crazy. So when you see a hologram and it don't make no sound, don't get scared, because it's a hologram. And they planning to fake that invasion, but that's even not gonna work, because they ran out of time. They should have been did that Project Blue Beam a while back. They ran out of time. All the stuff they tried to do, they really ran out of time, because it's only like 4 minutes on the clock. They don't got that much time to pull off what they're trying to pull off. Nothing really. It's time for them to go to their own planet. It's time for everybody to go home, back to their own planet. So Astro Command, it's time for them to go on back to where they came from. Some of the Nomos are indigenous to Key. Some of the groups of Nomos, they're originally indigenous to Key. So it's like this. This was a project. Blue Rock was a project to see how a lot of different species would live in harmony together on one planet, because not all the planets got this many species like Earth do. Earth got millions of insects, different types of birds, free reptilian fish, different species of humans. So it's got different species on here, but not every planet is like that, right? So a certain group of extraterrestrials, the four species alliance, who, like I say, is mentioned of in Revelations, is the ones that set up that Project Blue Rock, and it's part of alliance to see how all these species would live in peace together. That's from different parts of the galaxy. So a lot of the species here is from different parts of the galaxy, like the insects, they from the Andromeda. The plant species, they from the Vega star system. The like I said, the Nomos fish race, they from the Cyrus star system, and they got a couple other star systems. And the feline race, they from the Lyra and the Leo star system, right? So these different species are all from different planets. So, and a lot of y'all came here as zoo types. You came here as some of y'all are from these different species, and you came here and you evoluted into human form, right? It was part of the growing of your soul, because they said man became a living soul, right? So the school is to become a living soul, right? This school is a school where people come to develop their soul, your emotions, because a lot of extraterrestrials or angelical beings don't get to experience all these different emotions you have here. Pain. There's a lot of bad ones, but there's a lot of good ones too that they don't get to experience. Like when you're making love. Some extraterrestrials come here from thousands of light years away just to watch you make love. And they record it or they film it, right? And they record the sounds and play it like a music, play it in their headphones and shit that you make when you get booty. They fascinated with it. I remember a buddy of mine who was a Native American Indian from the Navajo tribe in New Mexico named Julio, who I worked with at Walmart, right? He knew that I was talking about extraterrestrials all the time, so he used to tell me his extraterrestrial stories. And he said that I remember one day he showed me a ship on top of the mountain, man, right in Albuquerque. And he said, man, look, like one day he just came out and he pointed up. He said, look at that. I said, damn, it looked like a ship. He said, oh yeah, that is the ship. It was a big ass saucer. Man, it looked like some government engineered shit, but it was like, it looked like I seen a picture of this in a government picture, right? This big, huge ship. But it was like, it looked like a piece of foil, like a big ass foil saucer, right? And you can see the legs, it had legs on it, right? Like some kind of but not like it had like some kind of legs where it was standing up on, but you can see it on the top of the mountain, right? On the way on the top of the mountain. And Julio said that, hey man, that's those people. That's when I first found out about the tall whites. He said those people, they are called. It was something else that he said in their language, but he said they call it another name for them is the tall whites. And I said, the tall whites, what the hell? He said, yeah, they could get up to 10 foot tall and they move fast. He was telling me all about them. He had like 2 or 3 encounters with them, and the Native Americans have been having encounters with these people by Mount Sasha. These guys, and he said that they working with the government. The tall whites working with the government, and the government set up a base for them right next to Mount Sasha, right, and over there in New Mexico, right. In Albuquerque, in the mountains, inside under the mountains, right? So he said that one day he had this girl he was trying to knock down. To make a long story short, he drove to this like a like a grounds where he knew that he passed by and seen in the mountains that he's gonna take his girl down, because he couldn't get a room or whatever. And he ended up going up there, and just so happened that park is about 25 miles away from the base where the tall white set up at. And just so happened the tall whites don't suppose the government got like a certain perimeter set up for them to, and they told them don't wander outside of that perimeter because they like to go out into Earth's atmosphere and walk around because their atmosphere is more heavier, and so they faster here. They can run faster here. It's like you got like a Superman, like they got Superman powers here on Earth. So they had to go and explore a little bit. So they wandered off past the perimeter and wandered to this park that Julio was parked at. And he had already got in the back seat of his Jeep getting ready to, get ready to get it on with his girl. And he just felt something. He said he felt something like on the back of his neck. And he said, man, he just felt something like, damn, something watching me. And he said he looked up like that at the back one of the Jeep. And he saw a tall white being, like a tall white alien being with black eyes, this and that. And he said that when he looked up and he jumped like that, right? And when he jumped, the being jumped because the being was scared of him. These beings, they were scared of him. So they jumped, this being, he jumped back like real fast. Like he said he jumped like at least almost 50 feet or 50 yards off from his truck, like real fast. Like soon as he saw that he was frightened, the being got frightened and jumped out, right? About 50 feet away from the vehicle. And then he said that when he looked up to see what did he run to, he said he saw a couple more standing out there, like apart, like little ones, and then like two more tall ones standing off like a little bit where the one jumped off to. And then he said he got in his truck, turned that mug on, he hauled ass out of there. And he said that he was so freaking scared that it was two ways to get out, right? So he said that when he's getting out, he's supposed to go out to the, I think it was to the right. But he accidentally went to the left because he was so scared of what he seen. And he driving like real fast to the left. Right. And then he said he driving about 5 or 10 minutes and he thinking, damn, the road's supposed to come out to this other road so I can get out of here. But it went in there. And then he said, damn, I got to turn around. Maybe I went the wrong way. But as he was getting ready to turn around, two Jeeps was coming to meet up with him. Two Jeeps, like military Jeeps. They were driving fast, just as fast towards him. And they cut him off in the road when he was about to turn around. And he said they hopped out with AR-15s and they had military uniforms on. And they told him, you can't be down here, this military property. You got to turn around. And so he was scared as hell. And so he was like, damn, I thought I was about to shoot him and his girl. So he got back in the car. He got turned around, right? And then they followed him all the way off to that dirt road where he got back on the regular road. Yeah, he said he ain't never go back over there again, but he said he saw them tall white beings, them tall white aliens. And so they got ships that the government, we were helping them repair their ship. He was telling me everything about them, right, these beings. And they got a base under Albuquerque. But the government is working with a lot of groups of extraterrestrials. That's what they ain't going to tell you. They've been working with a lot of groups. They're working with the groups of reptilians. They're working with the Greys. They was working with the marker beings, so the marker beings screwed them over because the marker beings can't be trusted, right? They trying to Astro Command. The government take advice from the Astro Command. Some of the stuff they act like they don't use, but they do use, like the imaginary monetary system that we in right now. They got that idea from Astro Command to set up this fiat system. Then the credit card system, they got that from Astro Command. And they act like they weren't going to use it. Astro Command actually gave them, it's called the Nessera plan, right? Because everybody was talking about the Nessera. That's Astro Command plan. The people that put that over. Hey, if you're coming in, if you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We got 8 books for sale, man. For the $8 for the $40 donation to the Cash App. If you just want to show us some love on the donations, we got the Cash App and the links. What we're talking about is will it be an alien invasion? And like I say, it's not going to be an alien invasion because this planet is under the Protected Planet Treaty. You can Google it. Google Protected Planet Treaty. It's going to give you like a phantom because a lot of stuff they don't want you to know, they phantom it. Right? A lot of the science that these guys, this Illuminati, because they don't believe in religion. The religion, Jesus and all that, they know the real truth behind all that. They know it's all astronomy. So they teach you dogma, right, and religion, and they keep the real information, and they say it's phantom information or it's science fiction, right? See, because the Illuminati are scientists. Go watch, was it Angels versus Demons, or was it Angels something? It was where they talk about it in the church and how the Illuminati was trying to create this separate the atom and create a bomb to explode the Vatican, right? So the Illuminati are scientists, and they really labeled the Illuminati as bad guys, but technically they wasn't initially bad guys. They were scientists trying to speed the world up into the fifth dimension, while the church was trying to working for the Nomos Reptilians to keep us under a spell of Leviathan, the reptilian spell of religious sleep. So we'll never know the real. We'll always be talking about Jesus coming back to save us. People are still saying that. Man, the truth is, we already came back to save you. The 144,000 already coming here. We already promoting the shit already. Like anybody, like the students of Malachi, if they ain't out teaching right now, shame on you. Shame on you, man. All the information, we armed to the T. I'm talking about we armed to the T, man, with so much different angles on this shit. Because the master teacher was 720 degrees. Melchizedek, Murdoch, Michael, Amen, right? It's 720 degrees of ancient wisdom and knowledge. So it's more than one perspective on a lot of shit. And we collected a lot of perspectives under the studies of the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York. And more perspectives based on all the clues he left for us. This is, we not black African Americans, we natives. Oh yeah, black African Americans, that's true. Yeah, the word black don't even apply to no people really. And African American is another. It's the misnomer to pull us under the labels, so they can put us under the 14th Amendment to make us subjects of the British Crown. They're trying to make us subjects of the British Crown, man. That's what it's about. Crown colonies. So they crowned our colony. This is chess, not checkers. So the Queen crowned our colony. And so you paying tax to the popes of Rome and the Queen by default. The default is voluntarily. A lot of this shit might go over your head. And people wonder, look, it's a lot of stuff that I can't say in my voice because the AI already flagged my voice. My voice is already flagged in there. Why you think I don't get that many plays? Because they shadow banned it. Right? I'm being what they call shadow ban because I'm putting so much information out that it's pretty much the shit that I'm putting out. Then I got it the way I got it worded. It might look like what it is, and then you listen to it, and it's like the story, like the tape with the white boy on there talking about the money. You want to learn about money? You listen to that tape, and then you gonna say, "Oh shit, y'all dropped some shit up in here." All them tapes dropping all the real deal up in it. I'm telling you, it's the end of it. It's the end. We ending it. It's the end. Right? Ain't no coming back after this. Right? The tape dead pledge. We just put the whole get down. I mean, the whole get down is in that tape. Shalonda Williams breaking it down in that tape, man. And we got more coming out with Shalonda Williams, Big Mama's daughter, who went to law school. And we got our real estate joint. You know what I'm saying? We very creative here. The way we spin this shit, get it out. Right? So we pretty much ended them. And no, we taking we getting our queen back. The queen is the matriarch system on the land like it been. Because Ta-Mari is the land of Mary. Mary is our nana. Right? So Ta-Mari, and we Ta-Maricans, that's one of our nationalities, Ta-Maricans, right? And so this is the land of our nana. And they ain't gonna tell you that our nana, they found the tombs over here. They found a lot of the female matriarch tombs over here, and in the Grand Canyon, which is the real king of the Valley of the Kings. The Grand Canyon is the real Valley of the Kings. This is what Smithsonian Institute is covering up. Their whole thing is to take the artifacts and tell you, just give you one location, which is the Giza Plateau, and then say, oh, that's Egypt. What was that place called before they called it Egypt, before the Berlin Conference? Think about that. What was it called? What was it called before the Berlin Conference? They switched up. We had more pyramids over here. And who are, let's get down to it. The real pyramid builders are the Washita people. The Washita people are native to America. Turtle Island, Ta-Maricans, right? The Tarites, the Nadjarus, the Netarus, all the American Negroes. That's why I told y'all when the extraterrestrial Nadjarus came back here from the future, because when you travel to Orion, which is 1,344 light years away, or when you travel here from Orion, you're traveling at a certain speed, you're traveling in time into the future. So these beings from the future, from Orion, because Orion technically is in the future. That's why it's a blue star. We can get into that too. But these beings come here and say, oh yeah, we are American Negroes in the future. So that means that the Nadjarus, all the American Washita, the original mound builders, the mound builders build the pyramids. Bottom line. I mean, we already exposed all this stuff. Ain't no arguments no more about that. Name what tribe in Africa that build pyramids? Name me one tribe in Africa that build pyramids. We know about the Washita mound builders. Name me a tribe in Africa that build mounds. We're gonna wait on that. Now you can say the Afar people, but then I say that they Washita too. They what you call a daughter tribe of the Washita, which is called the Shoshone. They were called a Shoshone before they went over there and called them Afar people. Yeah. Ethiopia wasn't even over there. They call it Ethiopia after the Berlin Conference. Ethiopia was over here. We already, the Berlin Conference. That's when they switched us around. These killer clowns, and then they came over here in 1886 or somewhere like that. And then the 13 killer clowns, and then they set up over here on the North Gate, and then said we're gonna wish watch them around. They part of the Berlin Conference. These guys that rock our crowns and know about the mounds. But they're a whole bunch of clowns. They ride around in clown cars at the parade, and they go around talking about they looking for the kid. Because they go back to the Magi and the three wise men, which is really the three stars in Orion's belt. It's all astronomy. These guys, they are astronomers. Because the guys you see with the feds, they star watchers. The Moors were star watchers, navigators. They use the North Star to get around. They use these stars to find out what Jesus, we can get into it. This thing, type of thing. But a lot of people still waiting on, can you believe it? A lot of people still waiting on Jesus to come back. And if Jesus came back, they'd kill him in half the time. Man, if Jesus came back, they'd kill him in half the time. If they killed him in last time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to tell you. Jesus come back every springtime, man. Jesus will be back at March sometime. Every year. Jesus died on the winter solstice Southern Cross every December 23rd, 25th, man. We're dealing with winter solstice. We're dealing with information that the Nomos taught the Dogon people, who are one of the tribes of the Egyptians. Because it was by 4 different tribes that could be classified as Egyptians. You got the Watusis, Twyman, the Afar people, right? The Felicians, right? So you're dealing with information that the Dogons came and the Anunnakis didn't want to teach the humans on how to do certain things because they wanted these humans, these Lulus, these primitive workers to depend on them. But these Nomos who turned against the Anunnakis and had a vendetta on them because they Nubaru passed by and burnt their star out, Cyrus B, they ended up turning against the Anunnakis and teach the humans, the Reptilians in the garden, right? It's connected with Enki too. But the Reptilians in the garden, the Nomos, taught the humans about the motions of the stars. They taught them astronomy. And they were part of this group called the Igigis. And these Igigis came, but these 300 Igigis, 200 of them came to Murdoch's wedding and became known as the 200 Fallen. And they taught these beings, you can read in the books of Enoch about this, they taught these humans different things. And one of these things that one of the beings taught them, who was Nomos, part Nomos, but they had came back more humanoid looking, but mixed with the Hindus, right? And they taught the humans astronomy about how the stars work. And this is what you call the winter solstice the solstices, the 4 solstices. So you can read in the book of Enoch about that, about the one being who taught them about the divination of the stars and all that, and they goes into the study of astronomy and zodiac, and all that, right? And Murdoch was instrumental. Actually, Murdoch and them actually created the Zodiac, right? Because it was Enki and Murdoch who actually went to the moon, dark side of the moon, and they spent a certain amount of years up there. Him and Enki mapping the stars out to create that calendar, and then they came back with it. That created your Dendorian calendar and your Mayan calendar, which is the same calendar. Really, it's because it's the same people. The Twi man was in charge of that calendar, right? And even Ta-Maricans, which is the hippo digit that's in the middle, she's a Twi, right? A Twi deity, and the Twi and the Mayans are the same people. So that's how you get that Mayan calendar, and the Dorian calendar is really the same calendar, just different dialect, right? Yeah, delete it. So it's different ways you can say it. It's Murdoch, and like I say, like some people stole his name. Like Ninurtu used his name, which is his first cousin, Enlil's son. He used his name to trick the humans. And then you got Astro Command, who got their own people who stole our names. So his name is Murdoch. You can say it like that, right? But that's Enki's son, right? Enki's oldest son, right? But there will not be an alien invasion until those 4 that planet protected planet treaty is up. Yeah, that's pyramids in Sudan, but and actually it's more pyramids in Sudan than it is in what they call Egypt, right? And really, that's all they can be classified all as Egypt. Sudan was a part of that land because the Twi man, if you had south and north, and really south was up north and north was down south, and it was like that over here too. If you go back and pull up this thing called the 1904 Louisiana Plans, that's part of another time in history where they switched the land around and made us think north was north. I mean, north was south and south was north and east was west and west was east. And that was part of the tricknology of Yakub. If you go to the book of tricknology that we put out of Yakub, he breaks that down and said we're gonna make them think that this is that and that is this, and we're gonna twist them around to where they ain't gonna even know where they from no more. And also, they said that in the George Washington challenge. And keep in mind who the Huguenots are, who were Protestants who claimed to get ran up from over in Europe and France by the Roman Catholic Church. And George Washington was a part of them. And the Huguenots really were working with they really were hybrid children for the Moors. The mulattoes. The Huguenots were mulattoes who wore wigs and skirts and high heel shoes and wooden teeth and shit. I'm telling you, man. And you go back to Rome when they wearing these wigs. Why? Because they were copying the Moors. They make fun of the Moors. Go pull up a thing called the Mummers Parade. They have it every year where they march and make fun of the Moors. It's like a ritual, an alchemic ritual that these Masons do, where they march and end up in Philadelphia, right? Because they know that Philadelphia was your capital. Might be saying too much for the algorithm here. Might be jamming it too far all together. Hey, what y'all got for us before we get out of here, man? We got a tape that's gonna come out at 12 o'clock. I'm probably gonna drop it at like 12:20 or 12:30 about Christmas. It's about 50 minutes long. So we've been working on that for the last couple of days, putting that together, and we finished it and we got it out. So that's gonna drop 2, and then we got another tape we're gonna drop tomorrow, and we might be live with Rod on Thursday. So that's gonna be lit too. We're gonna probably have Rod on Thursday. Yeah, the time is up for the 4th dimensional beings that rule over the 3rd dimensional beings. So you had some disagreeable 4th dimensional beings who fed off the third dimensional beings. And it's like this: would you want your food source to leave? Because what you gonna have to do? You gonna have to shit to get when your food source is gone. So but see, and the thing about it is, Earth got granted to skip the fourth dimension and go straight into the fifth dimension, no shift. So we're gonna surpass them. That's what the Anunnakis were. Certain groups of Anunnakis were afraid that the humans were to surpass them. We had the technology and genetics to surpass them because we not only had their genetics, we had a couple. They pretty much accidentally engineered us better than them. Pretty much, the Anunnakis inking them, and it was Tahuti and Mother Ninti was the main scientist. Mother Ninti and Inky. They actually accidentally engineered us better than them, and that's what they don't want to tell you. And so we got automatic grant by the Universal Galactic Council to skip the fourth dimension to the fifth, go to the fifth. And that's what the Reptilians don't like. We're going to surpass them, and we're going to surpass them. So what we won't need them. They won't be able to use us no more and keep us, because what they needed us for is as an energy source to ascend. The Anunnakis had developed technology to ascend on risk, and so they ascended to the seventh dimension and the high fifth dimension. And what these reptilians, they got trapped on the sixth. But if they get humans to worship them, they can take your energy, the power that you give them, because they gave their power over to the beast. Revelations, right? They gave their power over to the beast. So you give power over to these beings when you worship them, when you celebrate Christmas, when you celebrate all these pagan. Well, it ain't pagan because we get to partially that stuff come from what the Nomos taught the Dogons, right? And the word pagan actually means a dweller, a country dweller, a person that live in the country, right? Somebody in a country like me, I would be classified as a pagan because I'm a country boy, right? So if you're a country boy, a country girl, or somebody that don't go with the city ways, you can be classified as a pagan. It has nothing really to do with idol worship, right? Some people say, "Oh, yeah, well, it means yard man," right? Somebody that working in a yard. Yeah, same thing. Somebody that a gardener, a farmer. That's what it means, a farmer. Pagan means a farmer. Somebody that got a farm that live in the country. It has nothing to do with idol worship, right? So, yeah, man. This is how did they get their name, identity, Washington? Well, that's a good story, man. And the real name, it's another name for us. We didn't really call ourselves that neither. But that's what they got on file since 1993, right? We call ourselves the kitchen people. And that's why in the Louisiana and Mississippi, in the states where the Washita from, they're the best best cookers. They're the best cooks down there because they were called the kitchen people. And they even made the fillet fish, right? It's a lot of stuff that we created in the food industry. The Washita people, the Choctaw people, because we were the kitchen people, where you get the word kitchen from. And like I say, the Southerners are the best cooks. Why? Because that's the Washita. I don't want to go too far in there because I'm saving that for another tape. But that's one of the real names for us. Now to be honest with you, I don't know exactly the real origin of the Washita. Now, and Doc do go in. I'm gonna go back and check in the let's set the record straight for it again because I might have came across it. I just can't remember. But I know Doc said it wasn't connected to Washington, but we found other stuff out about Washington, the last name Washington, right? And then you got the Washita River, which the Washita River is where the land Louisiana Purchase was cut off, or the Washita land starts there all the way back up to North Carolina. So I'm gonna get back with you on that because I'm glad you asked that question. So I'm gonna go do more research on that. And I think I might have came across it before, but I just didn't go in too hard on it, right? But I know I think Doc did mention that we call ourselves the kitchen people inside the Let's Set the Record Straight book. And like I said, You go into the kitchen people, and those people were the people, the cooks. Big Mama was a good cooker. Big Mama was the soul food. The South is where the soul food is at, right? And these were the Washita people who were the kitchen people, right? I mean, go check it out. We're gonna have to come back with more on that. I got to get my books out of storage. I got a whole bunch of books in storage. We'll come back more on that, but I'm glad you asked that question because I'm gonna put it down. It says Creek, yeah, Creek, Blackfoot, Muskogee. That's all the same tribe. Yeah, Akata River. Yeah, that's what the French called it. The French called us that, but we call it they got that from Washita. The French, that's the French way of what they used to call us. It says who was the people that Lewis and Clark met when they got here? When they got here, some of the stuff was vacant because we had the bump left in the Seminole Wars, the Gullah Gullah Wars. We had all these wars going on, the Yamasti Wars, all these wars. We put the Native American Wars out too. We was fighting these guys for over 250 years on the land. They was wiping, killing our kids and stealing our kids, kidnapping. There's a lot of stuff going on during that 250-year war. I think his question was, yeah, but Lewis and Clark, when they got here, they encountered the women, a lot of the women tribes. And a lot of the women were chiefs. This is what they ain't going to tell you. A lot of the women were chiefs. And a lot of these women, these big mamas, these clan mothers, right? Because we put a tape out call about the clan mother because the clan mothers pick the chiefs. So who's the clan mother? The clan mother can fire a chief and hire a chief. So you gotta understand this is about mother and son. That's why they show the black Madonna breastfeeding the son. That's why they show you Hathor breastfeeding the son. That's why they show you this whole concept is the black Nana, the mother and son concept. The Masons is mother and son. You know, this whole concept, the Jesus story, mother and son. Even if you go through all the storylines, it's mother and son, right? And so you figure it out. That's what this is about. The mother line always tried to rule through the son, like Cleopatra. Cleopatra had a son with Caesar, and she wanted to rule through that son. Our Nana's son Haru, she wanted to rule through that son. I can go through the whole list of these women that had a son, and they used that Nimrod, even the story of Nimrod and his mother, right? She had that. Actually, they run that concurrent with the same story as Nana. It says, if your grandpa was Cherokee, what tribe is that? Cherokee is really Blackfoot, Muskogee. The Muskogee was like the next biggest tribe on the land, the Creeks, Blackfoot, Muskogee, because the Chickasaw would be a daughter tribe off the Creeks. It's several the Cherokee really is a conglomerate. It's a conglomerate of the remnants of the wars of the tribes that came together after the Seminole, which really came the Seminoles. Seminoles actually a mixed tribe. The Cherokees actually is a mixed tribe of different tribes that came together. There's actually another name for those people too, called the original people. Yeah, that's the same. They call that the same as the French. The French call us that. Jesus is God. That some people think Jesus is God. Yeah, I mean, like God the Father, because we can get into Christianity. You know, we got that school. Like it's a different. Like Jesus was different from his father. You know, some Christians teach that he's the same being. You know, but we can break all that down. Yeah, the Pope opening the portals. We talked about that already. The Pope opening the portals is all a bunch of this height and nice figure. Go back and watch. You want to figure out what the Pope got going on? Go back and watch Damien 666, Armin 666, about the devil, the devil's son, and then them setting up the Solomon's temple and all that. And the devil come back to sit in. Go watch a movie called Left Behind, part 1 through 3. So keep in mind, let's run it back. The Pope came in 1966 and gave a speech. They Doc talk about this too, about the Damien being born 1966 in the Dakota House in New York, born to Ronald Reagan's. I think it's Ronald Reagan's daughter. And keep in mind, Ronald Reagan is the one that gave Antoine LeBay and all them other the satanic guys in 1966, and I think it was Sacramento or somewhere. He gave them their sanction to open up the satanic church. And this how I connect back into the Armin 666 thing and the opening of the portals and trying to bring back the son of the devil. But if you go back and watch this other thing, Left Behind. Go back and watch this other movie called Constantine, where Jibrail they had Jibrail as a woman in this tape, right? And they had found the spirit of destiny, which was the spirit they supposedly, spirit Jesus with. We can get to all that too, but this is all, for my religious guys. And then he used that, they was using that spirit to try to bring back, they used twins. They sent one twin to hell and then made a connection from hell to here with the other twin to bring Damien from hell. But when Constantine made a sacrifice of himself to get the Lucifer to come up to hit up to the surface, and he came up and he said, "Oh yeah, your son is trying to come to this realm." And then Lucifer said, "Oh no." Then he went in the other room and then sent him back. So the devil didn't even want his son to come to the surface in this movie, right? Because there's certain rules to this. Even the old Lucifer followed the rules. The new Lucifer don't follow the rules. Because they said there was that old devil. See, if it's something old, it's got to be something new to reference to that. Because, like I said, if you got an old car, if your car is old, then it's got to be something that you can match to compare to that to say, oh, that's new and that's old. So if I say old serpent or the old devil, then that must mean that there's a new devil in time. And this new devil don't give a damn about like the shit to the old devil. He got different rules. He don't play by the same rules as the old devil. The old devil had rules and codes that he followed. The new devil don't give a damn, man. I'm telling you. And you about to see the new devil come on out and make his last couple moves. You're going to see how they're going to tell you how nasty they are right to your face. How nasty they are, how they were messing with the kid. They're going to be telling all that right to your face. They've been telling you subliminally. They've been telling you because they got to tell you. That's part of the conjuring. They got to tell you what they're doing to you. That's part of the conjuring. It's called hidden in plain sight. That's the alchemical move that they've been pulling. So they got to tell us what they're doing. But they didn't calculate that it was going to be people like that. There was readers on the land, like Dr. Malachi Z. York, right? They ain't calculate that it was going to be people they're going to be able to see shit, like Raw Hayes, or like there's other people. They're going to be able to see and call shit like, oh, I see what they're doing. Be able to read the plays, right? These people, in football, they stood up in the booth and they call them defensive coordinator. They didn't expect that we were going to have some defensive coordinators to sit there and read their plays. And then say, all right, we see what they're doing. Go in cover 2. So now we in cover 2. 2 men on the roof, right? The bogeys are coming. 2 bogeys coming, right? Who are the bogeys? The James Bonds. Who are the James Bonds? The British agents. Who are the British agents? The internal, or the Spanish Inquisition service. The bar, the British accreditation registration. The Crown, the Crown Colony, the guys that work for Crown Colony. And when you go to get gas, You think you get a whole gallon? Man, you ain't getting a whole gallon. You get 9/10 of a gallon. So where's that 1/10 going? 1/10 of a gallon going? It's going to the crown. It's going to the crown, man. Toast to the crown. I'm telling you, man. We occupied by military force, and if we don't like it, we got moves. We ain't out to overthrow the government. We already beat them physically. We still here. That's how we beat them physically. We still here. They tried to get rid of us a long bit. Man, you know how many times they tried to get rid of us? I'm telling you, man, we still here. Right? Another thing, the mother's plane. Don't sleep on the mother plane information. Because they tried to blow Africa up. They sent a big old B-2 bomber to drop a nuclear bomb on a Pacific place in Africa because they wanted to steal these people land and resources in that area, just like they always want to go and exterminate some people. And when they sent that bomb over there to go drop it, the mother plane came up and sucked and disintegrated the B-72, the B-2 bomber, disintegrated it. Like some people say, oh, it sucked it up in there. It's like it got sucked up into the mother plane. But then some say, oh no, they use that disintegrating technology they got where it dematerialize objects. So they don't want to mess with the mother plane, man. So the mother plane is also protecting from the invasions, and the mother plane is protecting the humans from keeping the humans from destroying the earth with their nuclear weapons and technology. Because the humans now got the power to destroy the earth. If they start blowing off nuclear bombs and they got a shitload of them, they got enough to destroy the earth 10 times over. You don't need that many nuclear bombs. They got enough to destroy the earth 10 times over. Right? Earth, especially Russia and the United States, of course. They got enough to store, and a lot of the sites, extraterrestrials are already disarmed already anyway. A lot of their nuclear sites already been disarmed because extraterrestrials live here too. And if they blow this place up, they're gonna affect their home too. It's more extraterrestrials here than it is humans that live here underground. And so if they blow Earth up using nuclear weapons, that's gonna affect them too. That's why they trying to prevent a nuclear war. But it was a certain group of Greys who came here, and the government, Majestic 12, interviewed one of these guys, and the guy said that they from the future, and we saw that y'all had a nuclear war on y'all planet because they wanted to cause a nuclear war on our planet because that's what happened on their planet. These guys, these marker beings, Greys. Fat Joe is. Well, I'm gonna see what I can say because I don't want to put my guy that gave us the information. But Fat Joe is one of the main informants on Diddy going down. That's what I'll just tell you that part. Fat Joe had an ankle bracelet on before they arrested Diddy. We'll say that part. Fat Joe is only out right now because he told. If you don't want to go to jail, tell. We'll say that part. Fat Joe is one of the main reasons Diddy got arrested. I'm telling you. I can't say he's the main reason, but he's part of the group that got him arrested. They're told because they got caught doing other things like black market organs hustling. Where they come to you and say, you got 100,000, we'll steal an organ for you, and then we'll sell it for $2 million on the black market, and then you'll make like 500,000 off that 100,000. And they got caught doing this, and they in exchange and for them not going down for it, they told, oh well, we know about the baby oil, and we know about the little white girls that Jay-Z walked out the room with Diddy and them. Diddy had these parties on Saturday at his house. They be having trafficking people. Yeah, and they told. And we know that we heard from somebody that was with them when they told that we know all of them that was with that group. up in New York. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. And so I don't want to say too much because I kind of still like Fat Joe, but we know for sure he one of them cats in New York that was going down, and we know what you did. We know about Pun. We know about Pun, Joe. We ain't forgot about Pun. What happened to Pun, Joe? Did he really die of obesity? Or was somebody slip something in his drink? We ain't gonna say too much. Did somebody slip something in his drink? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised all this industry. And they saying that old boy with the OJs, his daughter just died. That's all of his kids. Cause we're living just enough for the city I'm living. Just for the city I'm living. Just enough for the new Jack City. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Eddie LeVert. And we're going to win this war. Why? Because we can dance and they can't. We out, man. Wadu.